Karyn Bryant for MMA H.E.A.T. I'm here with Lorenzo Fertitta. He is the chairman and CEO of the UFC, and congratulations to you. This is a long time coming, yes?
Oh, it certainly is. You know, 10 years doesn't sound like a long time, but believe me, it was a lot of tough sledding and a lot of hard work and a lot of trying to convince people. So now that we're sitting here on the Fox set where they do the NFL, it's really a surreal moment. But I saw the opening video and I got chills. I was like, wow, I can't even believe it. So.
And do you find that it is still a question of making the sport seem legitimate to people in the mainstream?
Well, you know, it just depends on what you call the mainstream. I mean, we're certainly legitimate to kind of the demographics that matter in this country, you know, to the younger generations. I think what this deal is going to do is help make it mainstream and legitimize maybe to some of those outer demographics that currently right now aren't really into the UFC.
Yeah, I believe that this, just by the fact that we can see it in our homes very easily without having to fork over the extra cash, I think that's going to be a big deal. But Dana said something that you guys are still at heart a pay-per-view company, though, yes?
You know what? That's where we generate the majority of our revenue, but we're really not a pay-per-view company. We're a fully integrated media company that distributes all around the world, whether it be on broadcast television, cable television, satellite television, from a digital perspective. And yeah, a lot of our product is on pay-per-view in a lot of these regions.
Now, there was talk about G4. There was, the rumors coming on, but before there was also talk that there would be a branded UFC network. Why did that change, and why did you decide that Fox was the best place to go?
You know, we really believe that a UFC channel would work. But with any venture, there's challenges that exist as far as making that a reality. And we had some opportunities to do a channel with a number of different media companies. But when Fox came to the table and laid out this whole kind of idea of, it's not just putting a few fights on TV. I think you got the sense of the relationship here is we are really integrated within this company at every level. So the level of promotion, cross-promotion, and awareness that they're going to bring to the UFC, we felt like that was the best deal.
Well, I thought what was really nice is what they were talking about, the passion of everybody on their staff. They're already convinced, so they're already sold on the idea, which is going to make it very helpful. I know we can't really, you don't know maybe all the way, but for the first fight on Fox, who would you like to see on the card? Who do you think is a good person to sort of be an ambassador to getting new fans into the sport?
I think we should do Anderson Silva and GSP. I think that'd be a good way to kick off.
Please?
No, I mean, look, we're going to do fights that we think the fans are all going to want to gravitate and see. It's obviously going to be a pay-per-view level fight. Whether or not it's a championship, I don't know. We're laying out the schedule right now, trying to see who's available, who's not. If I was a fighter, I would be calling and texting Dana right now saying I want to be on that card because, look, for the first time, you're going to be on broadcast TV in America with promotion in the NFL and everything else. You're going to get millions and millions of eyeballs for exposure to really help elevate you to the next level.
It's going to be great. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Here with Eric Shanks, president of the Fox Sports Media Group. And Eric, I want to know, why is the UFC so appealing to you?
It's been appealing to me for a long time. I think, the numbers speak for themselves as far as how big the pay-per-view is around the world, and I've been involved with these guys for almost a decade. And I think it's a very Fox thing to do to make sure that we're looking for the next thing for the next audience. And I think we're both going to be able to benefit immensely from the fights on network television to the fights on cable, Ultimate Fighter moving over to FX in a new format. And again, I kind of said it in the press conference, for those of us who are UFC fans, and when people ask why, it's almost like if I have to explain, you wouldn't understand, right?
Right, exactly. Yeah, what don't you get about this sport?
Exactly.
Yeah, and it's funny because I've said that to people if they've never been to an event, just go to one. Just go to one.
It's a lot like NASCAR. I mean, we've been doing NASCAR since 2001, and that's the way you get somebody to be a NASCAR fan, is you say you gotta go, you have to go. And this sport is great on television, but if you do have the chance to go, you're a fan for life.
And who is going to handle the production? That's something that has come up a lot. Obviously, Fox is very well versed in putting on production, especially pre and post game. I watch a lot of football. So how is that going to work? What's the sort of blend of teams on that?
Well, it was never a question from day one as to who would do production. I think we're completely comfortable and have a lot of respect for what these guys have done and will continue to do. So the fight stuff, they're still going to produce just like they have. It'll look like a Fox event. We're gonna have our package that they're gonna use, so it looks like Fox on Fox. Pre and post fight, we'll have a big desk set up, and we'll do, you know, pre-fight, post-fight, with probably more Fox talent. We have a lot of guys here between Jay, Gus Johnson now is a huge fight fan and does a lot of MMA.
Yeah, I used to work with Gus.
Oh, good. So, you know, Gus's schedule permitting, and, you know, having conversations with him as to when he would be available, you know, I think we'd love to have both of those guys on.
Cool. Now, are you going to have a little dancing robot fighter in the corner is the big question.
Well, it you know, because we're having our production meeting this afternoon, and when Dana said that the gladiators were out, it was the first time I had heard it, right? So, of course, we're going to talk about UFC Cletus, you know, the robot, this afternoon, and see how far that goes.
I love him. Thank you so much, Eric. Good luck to you.
Thanks, Karyn. Bye.
Yeah, I'm UFC President Dana White, and get ready. You're going to be watching the UFC on Fox.